GMC's American S. Remember the S. It stands for something special, like the S's in compressed, condensed, words that mean pulling together big values into a tighter, lighter package. That's here. That's this. That's the GMC S-15. So much value and strength has been compressed into this truck that it should look twice as big. So S is for super. You can order the S-15 with the optional 1,500-pound payload, 1,500 pounds, more than a half ton, buy half again. Or you can take it with the standard payload, 1,000-pound capacity, as a lighter personal pickup. 2 lengths, 2 box sizes, an available punchy V6 or a leisurely 4. Trims, options, goodies, everything that makes a good truck greater still. S is for something, and S is for seeing, like see for yourself. Look how I turn it. Even the long wheelbase turns tighter than a Corvette. See where I can park it. It's about as wide as a J car, and I can get 3 people inside. So I can be a lawn crew truck. I can also tow with it. Order the tow package and hitch, and I can pull a total of 2 tons, trailer plus payload. That's right, it's a 2-ton tower. Look at the room inside. There's 4.5 feet of shoulder room, and more leg room and more headroom than an 81 Coupe de Ville or Chevrolet Caprice. The S-15 compresses everything but people. Why do you buy an S-15 other than super looks and super driving fun? You buy it for future economy. So you want a compact package. The S-15 is shorter and lighter than a Phoenix. It comes standard with a 1.9-liter 4-cylinder engine with 82 SAE net horsepower and a 4-speed manual transmission, a traditional world-type economy drivetrain setup. The S-15 with the standard L4 engine and manual 4-speed transmission has an EPA estimated MPG of 28 federal and California and estimated highway MPG of 39 federal and 40 California. Use estimated MPG for comparison. Your mileage may differ depending on speed, distance, weather. Actual highway mileage lower. That's S-15 economy. But surprise, when you calculate and compare the power-to-weight ratio for the short wheelbase S-15 by dividing the curb weight, 2,439, by the SAE net horsepower, 82, you get a power-to-weight ratio for the base S-15 of 29.74 to 1 pounds of curb weight per horsepower. That power-to-weight ratio is better than a Cordoba 6 with 39.96 pounds per horsepower, and pretty close to an 81 Coupe de Ville with 29.65 pounds per horsepower. So, S stands for a little sizzle on your economy steak. For more zip, you can order the available 2.8-liter V6 for additional SAE net horsepower. There's also an available 3-speed automatic transmission. The automatic has the torque converter clutch, which engages automatically at a predetermined speed to maintain road speed while allowing the engine to reduce engine speed. It provides a mechanical link in the transmission which reduces fuel-wasting slippage. And S is for slippery. It grew up in a wind tunnel to be aerodynamically slick and slippery, which is why the hood slopes, the wheel cutouts are flat, the windshield glass is bonded flush to the cab, the door drip rail is tucked away inside, away from the slipstream, and the drag deflector is down below the bumper. Even the mirrors are streamlined. And you thought it was all for pretty. But there's more. For a super truck, economy isn't everything. It has to offer impressive capacity, workability. Okay, the base S-15 will haul 1,000 pounds, including the weight of you, your passengers, and equipment, in either wheelbase, long or short. Or order the payload package, power brakes, stabilizer bar, and heavy-duty springs, plus V6 engine and bigger tires, and you can truck around with 500 pounds more on top of the added weight of the equipment you added. Fully loaded with 1,500 pounds, your S-15 can weigh from 3,980 to 4,680. 3,980 is just 50 pounds heavier than an empty Eldorado. The all-steel box is 73 inches long, short wheelbase, or 89 inches long, long wheelbase. When you add 10 inches to the wheelbase, you add 16 inches to the box. Because the S-15 is so maneuverable, with a base box floor height only 2 feet from the ground, with one-hand tailgate operation and built-in box tie-downs, the S-15 is a pleasure to work with. And it not only hauls, but tows. With the available rear step bumper hitch, it can handle 2,000 pounds. That's total. That's people, cargo, trailer, and load. With a heavy-duty trailering option with a platform hitch, the total doubles to 4,000 pounds. Same rules. The big trailer package requires the optional V6 engine. Impressive workability is based on impressive construction. S is for seeing, remember? S is for starting with a full-length welded steel frame, boxed in front, channeled in back. The massive front crossmember holds the engine and suspension. There are 6 outboard mounts, all with rubber cushions, 2 for the front radiator assembly, 4 more to hold the all-steel welded cab. The front suspension design is similar to that used on the Caballero. Big coils, rubber-bushed control arms, 25mm shocks. Power steering is optional, as is a stabilizer bar. Low-drag front disc brakes contribute to fuel economy. The fuel tank is mounted inside the frame with driver side fill. 13.2 gallons or a 20-gallon option. Long 2-stage soft ride leaf springs. Big 25mm shocks angled forward from inboard frame brackets. 2,550-pound rated solid axle with 7.5-inch ring gear. Rear brake drums with fins on the drums to dissipate brake heat. P-metric radial tires. The base tire is the same size as used on the '81 Grand Prix. Up front, double wall sheet metal in the hood and fenders. Steel wheel housings to baffle road splash. The front sheet metal is bolted to the cab. The cab is welded together of large pieces. Double wall around the rear window. Single piece, not multi-piece, door frames with hinges welded into correct alignment. Hinges are also welded to the doors themselves. Single-piece outer door panels fit exactly with the single-piece door frames. A soft weather stripping is used. All welded steel box with double wall sides and tailgate, steel wheel housings, and integral steel skid strips. To see how all this is put together, and the extraordinary steps that are taken in the Super Truck to resist normal corrosion, see how the S-Truck is built. And enter the awesome world of the Gamma Ray Inspector, ultrasonic weld testers, and ultrasonic water and air leak probes. Under the hood and in the cab, you should look at the S-Truck carefully. Easy service reach anywhere under the hood. A low silhouette cross-flow radiator and coolant recovery system. A hydraulic fan with a double fan shroud, one fixed, one rotating. 7,500-mile recommended oil change and lube intervals. 30,000 miles for air cleaner. Accessible belts, distributor, Freedom 2 battery, up front for easy checking. Inside, a full door trim panel for every trim level, from nice to nicer. Doors that open out 62 degrees. Available power windows. Headliner in all trim levels. Multi-gauge instrument panel with center comfort and entertainment controls. Standard AM radio that may be deleted for credit. 3 optional Delco radios. Side window defrosters included with available trim packages. A labeled under-dash fuse box. Anti-theft door slide locks. Full foam seat in vinyl or available cloth. 6.5 inches of seat adjustment. Finished in back as well. Concealed storage with seat back inertial locks. A cargo lamp and curved backlight. Smart switch controls turn signals, headlamp dimmer, wipers and washers. The new fluidic washer that oscillates a spray across the whole windshield. Pull-type door handles. 4 trim levels. Sierra base, High Sierra mid-level, Sierra Classic luxury level, and the Gypsy sport level. From nice to very nice. Punch the horn. That's an F note. F is for future. That's the S-Truck. That's the truck of the future, and for the future. GMC's American S. What makes the S so special? Who competes with the S-15? There's the VW pickup, which is smaller and lighter and is market aimed at a different group. The Caballero car truck market. There's the Courier from Ford and Chrysler's captive imports. But mostly the competition is Toyota and Datsun, the deadly serious Japanese imports that have done so well. So instead of trying to compare a lot of different trucks, let's stick to short wheelbase models of Toyota, Datsun, and S-15. They're all about the same size. The S-15 is a little longer because it has a longer wheelbase. Yet even with a longer wheelbase, the S-15 turns in a circle with the Datsun and tighter than a Toyota. All three trucks have independent front suspensions, but only the S-15 has coil springs with 25mm shocks running down through the center. Both the others have torsion bar front springs. All three have front disc brakes with power either available or standard. The S-15 has low drag calipers on the front disc brakes for low rolling resistance. All three have standard 4-cylinder gas engines, although this one, Datsun, has 2 spark plugs in each cylinder, 8 plugs to change. The S-15 is more conventional, 1 plug for each cylinder. The S-15 offers either the lowest or the highest SAE net horsepower for a gas engine, because it is the only one to offer an available V6 engine as well as a standard 4. The S-15 L4 engine produces its SAE net horsepower at 600 less RPM than Datsun and 200 less RPM than Toyota. Each added RPM burns additional fuel. Let's compare estimated MPG and fuel range for the S-15, Datsun, and Toyota, with standard 4-cylinder engines and manual 4-speed transmission. EPA estimated MPG for the S-15 is 28 federal and California. For Datsun, 27 federal and 24 California. And for Toyota, 26 federal and 23 California. Remember, use estimated MPG for comparison. Your mileage may differ depending on speed, distance, and weather. Actual highway mileage lower. Multiplying the estimated MPG figure by the number of gallons in the fuel tank gives you the estimated driving range. The S-15 has a slight edge, 369.6 miles federal and California. In addition, the S-15 is also available with an optional larger fuel tank, factory installed. The others aren't. The range with that 20-gallon available tank is 560 miles federal and California. All three trucks use rear drive axles held by leaf springs. All three use 2-stage springs that adjust to load, taking some of the bounce out of an empty ride without sacrificing carrying capacity for a load. The pickup boxes are about the same length. The S-15 box is a fraction of an inch shorter than the Datsun and a little longer than the Toyota. All have tie-downs. Only the S-15 box has double steel walls in the sides to help protect its attractiveness. Minor inside damage does not show on the outside. None have stake pockets. All have available rear bumpers, but Toyota Datsun mount theirs low, while S-15 integrates it smoothly into the design. Why then is the S-15 so special? There are obviously similarities in size, power, and capacity. Why is the S so super? first, in our opinion, there is the frank, openly American look to the style. The S-15 is crisp and wide-looking and flat and functional, with curves and bends that are largely of wind tunnel origin. The flat sides, the bonded windshield, the shape of the mirrors, the lower air deflector are more than style. These all contribute to low resistance by air to the passage of the truck. That adds to efficiency. Fuel economy and function and style turn up as other things too. Notice how high the door is, how far it goes into the roof. When you get into the S-15, you don't think about the door, but there's more room to get your head in. You think how easy it is to get inside. That's because the door is higher and curves some into the roof. To do this, a special drip gutter was designed of flexible material to go between the door and the roof, so it's there when you need it and gone when you don't. But the added advantage of this is that the drip gutter doesn't stick out into the airstream when the door is closed. There is something amazing about the inside of the S-15 cab, the feeling of space. In many dimensions, the cabs are comparable, but in our opinion, they don't feel comparable. We think you can feel the space in the S-15. In dimensions, the S-15 has more shoulder room than Datsun, less than Toyota, more headroom than anybody, and more legroom than anybody. Almost 4.88 inches more legroom than Datsun. The S-15 seat track is 6.5 inches long and has a ½ inch of up and down travel. It adjusts to an amazingly wide range of human heights and sizes. The seat flips forward without unlatching to reach the rear storage space and latches in place automatically when you apply the brakes. Datsun and Toyota bench seats have manual latches. The S-15 seat back angle is 23 degrees. A regular C1500 pickup has a 20-degree angle. The Datsun and Toyota are about 21 degrees. The seat angle contributes to the look and feel of space. There are many things about the trim and controls and equipment in the S-15 that are special things. I suggest that you use the S-15 buyer's checklist to look at them yourselves. But for now, let's put cabability at the top of the S-15 What's Special list. The second What's Special is the availability of two different gasoline engines. Neither Toyota nor Datsun do that. Neither have a V6 engine of any sort. Because of the V6, the S-15 can be ordered up with a heavy-duty trailering package, a 4,000-pound capacity. Only a light-duty trailering capacity is available with Datsun and Toyota. And finally, there is about the S-15 a quietly intelligent American approach to solving problems. Out of many examples, a most important one is payload. Traditionally, payload, including people carried, is what you get when you subtract the curb weight of the truck from the GVW rating of the truck. If you order a lot of special equipment, the weight of that equipment can reduce your payload capacity. So, with the S-15, computer technology was paired with American common sense, so that the standard truck in either length wheelbase has a payload capacity of 1,000 pounds, regardless of the options you put on it. The computer weighs the truck as ordered, picks the appropriate springs and brakes for it, and adds 1,000 pounds to get that truck's individual GVWR, so you always get the 1,000-pound payload. And when you order those options that are required, such as the V6 engine, to get a 1,500-pound payload rating in either wheelbase, the computer again weighs the truck as ordered, checks the weight-carrying components, prescribes springs and brakes, and adds your 1,500 pounds to the final weight. A nice, clean, easy-to-understand American solution to a technical problem. So why is the S-15 extra special when compared with Toyota and Datsun? Because it looks special. Because it's about the same overall package size, but feels, and in some important dimensions is, a lot roomier inside. Because it comes with a choice of gas engines, including the available V6, with your choice of more or of less power than Toyota Datsun. Because it can be ordered to tow a total 4,000-pound person cargo trailer load. because you can order either a 1,000-pound or a 1,500-pound payload capacity and get it, regardless of the weight of the factory-installed equipment you also order. All that, plus all this, makes the S-15 very special indeed.